Welcome to Navigating with Noel. And on today's edition, we are looking at the balanced woman in commemoration of the International Women's Day. We're celebrating women all over the world, and we're going to be looking at some of the biases, stereotypes that have limited women or that have made it difficult for women to succeed. On today's edition, I have three wonderful women here who are our guests in the studio. To my far left is Priscilla, and we have Elizabeth, who is an entrepreneur, and we also have a lawyer, Busayo. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so our discussion today is going to be focused on how to break the biases that have limited women in our today's world. First, I'm going to ask this question. Now, growing up as a girl, we all tend to have this dream of what we want to become. So let me start with Priscilla. What was your dream as a young girl?
Okay. I really like that question because it's when each time I get to hear such question, it takes me back to memory lane. Growing up in Ajegule.
Ajegule, you say?
Yeah. Ajegule, ghetto city.
Wow.
Okay, so actually had this challenge of selecting a particular career path because back then I was almost good in all the subjects, so it was kind of a challenge to me. So the teacher would say, would you, with your brain you can become a medical doctor. I'll say yes, I'll become a medical doctor. So getting to that SS1 part, I realized that I don't really like science that much. I might pass, but I'm struggling with it. So I just felt, okay, what can I do best? I love calculation, let me go for accounting. So I was a commercial student, and then after school I was to further my education. So it was a funny experience. So I'll just say it. So then send it back in Ajegule. I misplaced my jam card, so I needed to get another one. So when I got to the bank, I got there. So I met with the security man and I explained my plight to him and said, this is a situation of things. Is there any way you can be of help? So he put a call through. Is that I don't know if it was one of the tellers he was talking to or the client service persons. I don't know, but all I knew was they were talking on phone. Their voice was very low, and who even got my attention? I was like, God, these people, they're almost sitting close to each other. Why waste their time? Why? I was shocked. Like, why people waste? So these people, they are very rich. Oh, you know that mentality due to the environment and all. So after that, I was still amazed. So I needed to use the restroom. So I told the security persons I needed to use the restroom. So he directed me somewhere. So when I got there, it was glass all through. I said, no, this is the wrong place. I came back to him. I said, see. So I said I needed to use the restroom. He said, that's the place. So I entered. To my greatest surprise again, after washing your hand, there's a machine that will dry your hand. So I was just washing, dry my hand, wash, dry, until somebody was entering. I just had to form and all. So from that day, I was just immediately I came downstairs and I was going. I started talking to myself. I said, Priscilla, you must work in a bank. You must work in a bank. You must. In fact, my class boy saw me that day. He was like, Priscilla, what happened? I said, you don't understand. I saw something I've not seen before. I said, you must work in a bank. You must work in a bank. So a few years later, after service and all, I got the opportunity to work as a contract staff somewhere in a bank. So I said, immediately I entered again, the whole thing played back. That was about 10 years later. I said, Priscilla, you once said this thing that you work in a bank. It's almost a reality. And from a contract staff, as God will have it, I became a full staff. So it's like a dream come true for me because I really needed, I already planned that by God's grace, I must work in a bank, if not a bank, at least a financial institution. And to answer your question, I think I've achieved that for
So
now.
Okay, as a girl child, I wanted to be either a businesswoman, a banker, or an accountant. So, and along, maybe because of how I grew up. So, I grew up into knowing business. So, as a business lady or business girl, so I wanted to like, okay, anything that can just, I know it's legal and can fetch me something on my table. So, I'm glory to God. I'm into business now. Yes,
Entrepreneur.
yes, an entrepreneur, and also doing some courses professionally.
I just wanted to make money, make money, get married, have children. That was
Hmm.
my dream as a child. I didn't
Exactly.
care. Whatever I was doing was not important. All I wanted was, as an adult, I wanted to have money. So for me, there was a time I wanted to become a detective. My friends made fun of me. It was very funny. She was like, they still call me detective Busola till now. Like, it's very funny. So I wanted to become a detective. I wanted to become a politician. I wanted to become so many things, as long as whatever was making money as at that time. Whatever I know was making money as at that time. As when you ask me, is what I want to become. But after even till SS3, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was in the art class. I love literature. I love to read novels. So I was in the art class. I was just there. I was passing my exams. That was not a big deal.
Yeah.
But after school, the issue was now, what did you want to do? I had to sit down with my dad. It was a long talk. I selected so many things: mass communication, accounting. He said I didn't do accounting in school. There were so many things. So finally, we decided that I should go for law. I don't have issues with law, unlike people that says my parent picked it for me. Well, my father guided my decision, but I don't have a regret. But currently now, I think what is interesting me is human resources. So I'm currently in the field of human resources. So I don't know.
Awesome. Awesome. So looking at your achievements, looking at how far you have gone, you grew up in Ajegunle, you grew up in Agege, you grew up in Munshi. How would you reconcile where you are to where you're coming from? How would you say your background impacted? Was it a positive impact or a negative impact you have when it comes to relating, when you look back to where you're coming from, where you grew up, the environment you grew up in, the society and what you have been able to accomplish now as a woman? Let's start with you, Elizabeth.
Okay, I grew up around Dr. Muagege side, and I can remember then helping my mom with her goods. She sells nylon.
Okay.
So going in between streets, like, okay, will you buy? I sell this, introducing myself to people. Okay, this is what I sell, this is what I sell, going around. And after a while, after some years, I saw that it actually built confidence in me. Till now, I can approach anybody
Wow.
just to tell them what I'm selling. And that's what prompted me to go into business. So I can actually market what I sell confidently, like without um without
Being intimidated or
intimidated.
feeling.
Yes, thank you. So it actually builds confidence in me. One. Another thing again is that it makes me independent, because then I remember that, okay, I could even this one that even happened. This one is still in my memory. Yes, it's still in my memory. I remember when I wanted to write jam, jam exam, and there's nothing at home and all of that. I just like, okay, what can I do? Let me just start selling tasty time. There's still
Wow.
something this tasty time and donuts. So
Wow.
then flour is not as cost as it is now. So I could just get some cups of flour and make donuts. I sell them 10 naira. Why
Tasty time.
tasty time was just 10 naira. So I'll just put them in my fridge, wrap it inside this nylon and put it there. So
Wow.
myself and my sister. So my sister would just go around in the street. We sell tasty donuts. Will you come and buy? Come and buy. It's very sweet and everything. So people they came to buy and all of that. And through that, I could gather like 5,400.
From tasty time of 10 naira.
Yes. From
Tasty time of 10 naira.
Yes.
And donut 10 naira.
Yes. So one thing that
Wow.
mommy taught me was to be a good saving person, like savings. Like we did that a lot. So the fact that even sometimes she would just like, hello baby girl, can I get 1,000 from you? And she would tell me, I will return it back. When it is 2 days time, I will return it back. It's a lie. So we just know that that's normal. So that's actually what make me independent. So I know that before I can get something, technically I must work for it. So anything another person brings, it will be like an addition. So I'm independent of okay, wanting, okay, what I want, I need to get it. Like,
Wow.
okay, I need to do this before I can get this. So actually,
So you're saying growing up in Agege wasn't a limitation for you. You actually saw opportunities that you could take, that you could actually assess even in that environment.
Yes.
And with that, you were able to even pay your jam form.
Yes. And one thing again is that it taught me these marketing skills. Like you give me a product now,
Yeah.
I can actually convince you, even though you don't have it, you don't have the mind of buying, like you
Yeah.
don't budget for it, I can actually convince you to buying that product. So this marketing skills on how to persuade people to actually buying your products. So it actually taught me that too.
Priscilla, so good things can come from Ajegunle. You are
Sure.
an,
I'm
you're,
actually a product
you're a
of
product of Ajegunle.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Okay. Like in Ajigule, growing up was very tough.
Hmm.
It's very tough. There were so much juvenile delinquencies. There were things that a child wasn't supposed to get involved with, and you see it as a normal thing. Young girls getting pregnant, drunkards, smokers, fraudsters, like 419. They call them 419. Like you will know that this person is a 419 person. You will know them and you see them more often. And I could remember once, because I actually left Ajigule 19 years later. So we left Ajigule, and one of the things that made that happen was after going to school. I got admission, was about 18 years or so. When I
Wow.
went to school, I came back, and you know, there's this kind of exposure that school gives to you.
Wow.
Yes, although I've been that kind of person that want to pursue life, like achieve some things.
Yeah.
So but when I got to school, I just saw a different life entirely. And when I came back, I knew this environment will not favor me again.
Wow.
So when I came back, sometimes I'll be peeping through the window. I'll see young girls walking about. In fact, there's this beer parlor close to us, and you see most persons misbehaving, saying rubbish, nothing to really challenge you to be better. You know, environment matters.
Yes,
At
yes.
some point you can be your environment, but
You create the kind of
yes,
environment you
but
want.
most times things you hear, things you see tend to influence you.
Yeah.
So you have to be that hardened person, strong person to say no, I won't settle for this. So at some point when I see those things happening, I'll be like, anytime my dad we're on ASU strike normal. So when my dad comes back, I'll be like, Dad, this environment, I'm tired. I don't think I can stay here again.
Wow.
So I don't think I can stay here. So that was how we relocated and we moved to Oshoki, but that's story for another day. So the environment, it was not a funny one. So yes, so many good things can come out of Ajegule. You see few persons that are very serious and they go far. And each time I identify those set of persons, some might be in the streets, some might be in the church, some might be in my school, my seniors in school, I submit to them.
Okay.
They were like my guardians. Like I had parents too, yes, Christian upbringing, but this set of persons, they were there to direct me.
People who had seen the light, who had a focus.
Who had focus. My school mother, my teachers, so many persons, they were like a guide to me, and that really helped me. If not, and another thing that helped me was most of the persons that grew up together, at some point I saw that we are no longer aligning. And naturally, people just
separate.
You are not quarreling, no. You just see this detachment and all. With time, it's led to alpha. But we talk. So most times, my advice to people is that irrespective of your environment, in as much the persons that are there are not in line with what you want to do, positive things you want to do, it's not a crime for you to detach. It's not a crime for you to submit to persons that you see them as an example to your life. And it's not even a crime to go far.
Yeah.
Look for people that can be of help to you. Thank you.
You're a lawyer. Coming from Mushi. Of all places in the world.
Okay, Mushi is, like she said, Mushi is terrible, you know. There were so a lot. I mean, there were so many issues. But for me, I think Mushi helped build my confidence. Okay, then, because my mother owns a shop, so she goes to shop in the morning. When I come back from school, I'm the only one at home, and then in the evening, she comes back. So in the afternoon, she expects me to fetch water. There's this place we call public. You know, it's a public tap. So everybody will come to fetch water. It's a mux that will usually pump the water. So as a child now, we had adult. There's a bakery around. So people from this Iluoke, the Shaki people, they will come there to stay there. So they come around to fetch water. And then they come around because we are children. They will just come. Sometimes we would have put our buckets and our baths down, we just line it up. And then they will just come because they are adults. They would want to take over and just fetch water and move. And then sometimes they're usually very, very rude.
Wow.
So as a child, I would usually stand up to them. So I think that was how I built confidence.
Wow.
So even if I am intimidated, there's this what's it called? Yoruba will say Oboju. I don't know what's it called in English.
You
this
just
Oboju. I mean,
why?
I mean, deep down, I am shivering.
Yeah.
But I am still going to stand up and say it. You know what would happen? I just tell myself, what's the worst case scenario you beat me? So I mean, sometimes we would literally fight with these women. I mean, they are adults. Okay, maybe because they gave birth early. Some of them are not really that old. But because they're coming from the village and they gave birth early. So when we see them then, they usually look much more older.
More matured, yeah.
They look much more matured. Sometimes people will come and chase us away.
Wow.
When they chase us, we'll pack our bath, we'll stay afar, then we'll watch, then we'll go. Sometimes, sometimes when we see some women, we will just, this one, you will not fetch here.
Wow.
And then we'll plan it, we'll pour our water away. Sometimes we'll throw ourselves into the gutter. I mean, that gutter, it's because it's a public place, they sometimes pull in the gutter. I mean, this baths, we're going to fetch water for drinking water to our various homes. And then we'll put our baths, our buckets in this bucket because we're fighting. So I think that even though there's some
negative
part
that
of
environment.
these things, as a child, it just made me, I understood that there is literally nothing I could not do. Except I just wanted to just limit myself. Although I had the low self-esteem part, but it pushed me, it kept me going. Even as an adult, there's some things I come across, and I just feel like I am going to just go through this.
Yeah.
I am going to go through this.
So you got dogged.
Yeah, exactly.
And she built your muscles. It's still Navigating with Noel. We're celebrating the International Women's Day, and we have here with us women talking about their experiences. And the major focus today is a well-balanced woman. We're trying to talk about the biases that seem to limit women. Now, let's talk about some of the things you have achieved in life. Do you think women are celebrated the way men are celebrated? Do you think that women today have the same platform when it comes to achievements? Now, when they do achieve, do people really celebrate them compared to the men? Is it like we expect the man to succeed naturally? So when the woman succeeds, it's not a big deal because nobody expects her to go that far.
Okay, let me say people still appreciate what you've done as a lady. Because I can remember in school.
Yes.
In school, while studying, I was actually running a business too. And I could hear some lecturers or not teaching staff like, how can you cope with this? As they know that females, when you're in school, there are opportunities for you to actually have money. You can actually have a boyfriend or anything. But you being a lady and still yet coming out to say, okay, I'm still going to fend for myself. Like, despite that, they don't know if I'm actually having something from home or not. But actually, okay, I just want to do this.
Okay.
Maybe to help myself or help someone or help my family. They don't know. But actually picking it up to do as a business, it's kind of encouraging. So I could hear some people saying, wow, you're a lady, you're a graduate, and still yet you're still doing it. How many girls are out there? People are saying, how many girls out there actually want to do what you are doing? So they know that females out there, they just want quicker ways, like a quick step, like something they can do to actually get money. So I can say that it's worth it. It's worth it. And more so, people out there, though there's a belief that, okay, there are certain places that it's meant for men, and there are certain places that it's meant for women. So when they see women trying to come up like, okay, to some people,
do what typically to say is a man thing.
Yes, it's a man thing. So to some people, they feel like, wow, yes, I know that. And there's a saying that what a man can do, a woman can do.
Just leave that one. Leave that one.
So I know that it's sides and all of that. So some people are actually encouraging, like, okay, yes, you can do it. While some people, it's just the negative part of it.
Are women weaker vessels? Scripture says it, that we should honor women as unto weaker vessels. Looking at life, how you have grown, do you think compared to a man that you are weak?
I think that I am more emotionally intelligent than most men. You know, okay, I'm not saying me personally. I mean,
No?
women
Yes.
are more emotionally intelligent than most men. Okay, the other question, I just want to add something. I think that women are celebrated more than men. Sometimes, I mean, I'm just going to give there are two categories to it. You know, the normal degree, when a woman achieves a normal degree, they celebrate a woman more. You know, because society honestly expect a woman to feel, on the way you just get pregnant or something happens
Yeah.
somewhere and you just drop out. But once you leave school, they celebrate, oh, she's a woman and she did this. Oh, that's nice. But what the society has issues with is you pursuing career.
Wow.
You know, when you've graduated,
When you have done the normal
yes,
and you're
normal,
trying
they
to do
expect
the
you to get
abnormal.
married and just stay in your husband's house. But you saying that, oh no, I still want to go for my PhD and masters, and like, oh no, you're going to end up in the kitchen. So
Wow.
so why are you going through all this? So but back to the question you asked, if a woman is weaker, I do not agree with that. If you notice, okay, if you look at the trend in a typical home, the person who handles the emotional part, of course, the men will bring the financial part. The
We
money and
contribute
all.
to the finances too.
I mean, majorly.
Yeah, 21st century.
But
Most women are breadwinners in their homes.
okay,
We can't take it away from them.
yes.
So yes, we know the men are supposed to be the head. They are the head. We're not doubting that. But we're saying women do quite a lot.
Yeah.
And yet they say we're the weaker vessels.
Exactly. That's what I was getting to. I mean, apart from the money part that the man is bringing to the table,
Yeah.
what else? When you talk about raising children,
Yeah.
building them up, training children, having time for your children, making out time, making family time. These are responsibilities that society automatically shifts
To the
to the
woman.
women. And they tell you, you are the mother, you mother your children. And they expect you to also have a career alongside. So if you ask me, I mean, you're asking me anyways.
Of course.
So you're asking me anyways. I honestly would say that, and I'm saying that if you honestly, men are weaker emotionally, and they're weaker versus they
No,
need
don't
women
go
to
back.
survive.
Men are men, women are women.
Yeah.
Women are strong. We're strong in our own way.
And men are strong in
Men,
theirs
they're
too.
strong in their own
Okay,
way.
so from that
You want to say
question,
something,
yeah,
Priscilla?
from that question, saying that if the woman is a weaker vessel, the only point I can actually give it to them is they are physically stronger.
Men are physically
Physically
stronger.
Yes.
But in other aspects, I think we do better.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to take sides, but it's obvious. It's obvious. And just like you've said, that this present time, women too bring money, bring things to the table. They don't just, you hardly even see a housewife. That same housewife will have one little business she's
Business.
doing and all, taking care of children. It's no joke.
Hmm.
Running a home, that administrative skills is just like, it's innate in every woman, like God gave it to. We can multitask, we can do so many things at the same time. So I wouldn't say we are the weaker vessel.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been so insightful, and it's Navigating with Noel, and we are celebrating the International Women's Day, and we're talking about the biases and stereotypes that limit women. There's this issue about marriage. You see a young lady who has great potentials, and then she marries, and then everything just goes like there's a diffusion. Is marriage a problem to a woman? Is there something about getting married that makes you lose yourself, or makes it impossible, or slows you down, or makes it impossible for you to be a great woman? Priscilla.
Okay, so marriage is very important, and it affects your should I say endeavors. It affects everything about you. It affects everything about you. So like they would say, even the Bible said, that's the first institution that God himself created. He knows the essence of it. The Bible says, can two work together except they agree? And I said two heads are better than one. So for most women, I've seen some ladies I admire a lot from a young age, and I'll be like, I want to be like this person. And the person gets married, and I'm like, God, where is this auntie? I'm not seeing her again, nowhere to be found. All her career pursuits, everything down the drain. And I've seen some persons that when they got married, it was as if then when you were admiring them, they've not even done anything. Immediately they got married, they just moved up and you keep admiring them. So I feel number one person that can actually stop you is yourself.
Wow.
But also your partner is also important. Is also important. And if one is to settle down, I would advise you marry someone that has the same pursuits like yourself. Temperament is secondary. Marry someone that has the same pursuits. And aside from having the same pursuits, is the person really ready to push you up? Is not someone that actually wants you to take the back seat, that feels that since I'm married, you don't have to run again. Just hold on while I run. Just take care of the children and all. So we should be mindful of who we actually settle with. Should be someone that is ready to support us. Is somebody that is willing to make us see reasons why we shouldn't stop. So we should actually look into that. Someone that is ready. And it will be only by God's guidance. We can never rule out the God factor. We'll be the one to direct us to someone that would actually push us to be better off. So to an extent, marriage stops some persons. To an extent, marriage doesn't stop some persons. So everything is relative. Everything in life is relative, depending on the way you see it and depending on the way you would actually want to approach life. Thank you.
Most women, when they want to get married, they tell you, if you are rich, nobody's going to marry you.
Okay.
If you have a car as a young girl, nobody's going to marry you. That's when a woman is successful, that it intimidates most men. Is that supposed to be it? Is it what we should expect in society? So are we saying that the woman should now deliberately downplay herself because she wants to get married? Elizabeth.
Okay, I think one of the reasons why people say that is that because of people they've seen so far. They feel that people they've seen so far they feel bossy, like, okay, I have this, especially when the other person that's
man is struggling, or is not as successful as she is.
Yes. Or let's just look at it that the guy is more successful than the lady. You wouldn't think that way. Like, you will see that, okay, I know, we even fit it, like we even help.
It's normal for the man to be more successful than the woman.
But if it is the other way, the guy may feel, will this one be submissive enough? Will this one, will he be able to even cook for me?
Wow.
You already have the cars, you already have the houses and everything. You are okay. So the guy is just to compliment you, just like, in fact,
just to add the name to the woman, so she become Mrs.
Yes. So that it will not be like, okay,
she has everything, but she doesn't have a man.
A man, yes. So I think what they've seen so far, they feel that people that are okay, ladies that are okay, feel bossy, like they may not be able to be submissive to their partner. But I think one can actually prove those persons wrong by being submissive. You have people that are okay and are still submissive. In fact, you hardly know that they actually have that. I heard of a story of a particular person that has everything, and she had to, like, okay, let me be silent about it. So when she met with the guy, they talked, they knew each other and everything. So maybe few months to their wedding, then that's when the lady exposed, like, okay, I have this is who I am, but I don't want you to feel that, okay, I don't want you to feel intimidated by what I have. So we have people that are still submissive. So we cannot actually generalize that talk to, like, okay, so successful women. So we can't actually generalize it.
There's also this issue about women at the top of their career, women in top management, or women, and when they get to that level where they now are like a boss or the top managers, that once you have a woman as a boss, you always have issues. Is it true?
Okay.
That it's easier to work with men, it's easier for men to, if you have a man as your oga, things will flow. But if you have a woman as your oga, get ready for drama. How true is that?
Okay. Okay, yes, it's a popular saying, but I do not agree with that. I honestly do not agree with it. I think it has to do with a personality thing.
Okay.
Honestly, they are male. I say they're your boss, and it's a living hell. and then you wish that you wish that you have never worked in their office or worked with them. And then there are women. Okay, when I was in school, when I was in the university, I'm just going to relate this to the university. We had lecturers who, of course, I can use them because they're like an authority over us.
Yes,
We had lecturers that they're women, and they're like mothers to us. I mean, they would bring us very close. They don't want us to feel they're always in our face, helping us with anything that we need. And we had lecturers that are male. I had a lecturer, I'm not going to say it. It's very strict. I mean, when he became a dean, it was terror, it was horror. Wow. I mean, it was terrible. So it's just a personality thing. But sometimes there are some women that they are good, but because the society expects a woman in that position to fail, so she just develops this thick skin, and then she becomes very harsh. And then another thing that makes this kind of people very harsh is because of their subordinate. There's some male that would never submit to a female boss. You know, they just have this mentality that this woman is how old is she? She's like my housewife. At least
I can marry her.
Same age mate my housewife. I can marry her. I mean,
I can pay your bride price.
Exactly. That's really, really, really irritating. So over time, because of these things that these women experience, you just develop this thick skin. So when they see you, they don't even care whether you want to submit or not. They are authoritarians. They just dictate to you. They don't, maybe over time.
Yeah.
When you get to meet with them, they can relax and mix with you. But you see that first encounter, they're telling you
fire
that
for
I
fire.
beg. I am not here. If you misbehave, you leave. I am not here to be. I'm not here to joke.
Don't joke with me.
I'm not here to.
I'm the boss here.
Exactly. So sometimes it can be like that because they just develop that thick skin.
Yeah, they're trying to also build a wall, a fence around them, so that you don't just penetrate.
Yeah.
And take them for granted.
Set a boundary. Yeah.
Exactly, taking them for granted.
Wow, awesome. Now let's talk about spirituality. They'll tell you most times they say women have this special place in God's heart.
No.
Like, I don't know whether it's scriptural or like we're God's last born of all the things he created us last. So you know how you always pamper.
I just got that point for the first time that we are God's last born.
So you know, and there's this special thing about women and God. Really, does that really hold water? Like, do women really have a special place in God's heart? Let's start with Elizabeth.
Okay. Let me say the scriptures. Bible says, a contract,
You're broken in a
and
contract.
contrite heart, he will not despise. I would say no to women having a special place in the heart of God. No, but one thing God demands or loves is that if anyone, his love is shared abroad and across to everyone. Yeah. So what he loves is a broken and contrite heart. Even be it a male or a female. So far you are broken and say, God, without you, I'm nothing. Having that place in God, like, okay, God, this is who I am. Even aside my successes, it is you. Like, if it is not you, I cannot achieve this. I cannot be where I am.
Yeah.
God loves such art. And that's why we have likes of David. So this acknowledgement draws God's attention. Like, okay, you care for, the Bible says he will honor those who honor him. So that's to say, either a male or a female, when you honor God, directly he honors you. So be it a male or a female. So you're saying it's just that female. Now let's look at the church settings now. Yeah. Who are those that are coming to church?
I was going to ask that question. How come we have more women in churches and we tend to have more men?
Because guys, men, so to say, they believe is the ladies.
You don't have God's time, Abby.
Yes. She's going to pray. She needs to wake up in the night. In fact, look at most homes. When the woman is holding vigils, praying for the children, the husband is just sleeping. You just do that. So they actually, one way or the other, they just sideline that responsibility to be female. That's why they say female is the what? Is the owner of the home. So another thing again is that now also, let's just take for instance, you get to a church and the worship section and you see the power of God moving. Before you see a male on the floor rolling and saying, God, I thank you. It takes a while. It takes a while.
So they are harding.
Yeah, harding. Yes, it's open to God. You just want to, within minutes, just a few worship, the ladies, the women are on the floor crying, oh God, praying in tongues. But guys, The spiritual one
They will be thinking.
yes, even
Oh, they're chatting.
they are chatting. So even the spiritual people, you just like, well, further on the ground, even the Holy Spirit is even knocking them. You sit kneel down, you say, no, people are much. So you see this kind of ego, so to say, in them like, it doesn't need now. God hears me. But the female, we are, this submissive spirit is just in us. We may feel very hard. But the praise of God, we are just quickly broken.
Like children.
Yes, like children. But men, it's just the other way.
Priscilla.
I would say I really enjoyed that analysis. I'm actually seeing it from a different perspective. So Elizabeth, I must say thank you for that. And does women have a special place in God's heart? She said no. So I want to take it to another perspective now. So I'm saying a yes to an extent. Okay, so the reason I'm saying that is because, like somebody said, that men go to the mountain to meet God, but God comes to the house to meet women.
Hey,
Yes.
please, chapter 1 verse 1.
I'm saying, and you know the funny part, I'm trying to recall some certain scenarios in the Bible, but it's kind of difficult. So a woman,
He came to Mary.
Yeah.
He came to Mary in the house.
So some instances where I've seen, okay, one of the major issue here now is that we are the womb carriers.
Yes.
That's the place God makes a man, a baby, and even our dear Lord Jesus Christ came into a woman. And it wouldn't have been anything difficult for God to say, yeah, open heaven, yeah, land. It wouldn't have been heaven. But he says, the earth have I given to the sons of men. So he know the procedures, and he has already surrendered that this is the procedure for a woman to give birth to a child. She must have met with a man, deliver and all, then give birth. So he did not bypass that process. He saw the importance of a woman, so he went through the normal process, and Jesus Christ came in through Mary and the likes of other men and every man we have on planet Earth. So I must say that indeed, because you even mentioned the fact that in churches, yes, women, they tend to carry the spiritual responsibilities more. Yes, there are men that do that, but it can't be compared to that of a woman. You go to churches, you've said it yourself, you go to churches, you see that the percentage of women, like 60%, there you see men 40%, they're always there. They know that no matter what, this child is my child, irrespective of the age. So they start making some spiritual investments. That's the right word. They start on time. My wombo, my this. So they start. They don't joke. Women don't joke. I can remember there's times my mother will wake up, start praying midnight. To you alone. Me, I want to sleep. Do you understand? So any little thing, look at what this pastor said. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. But a man would want to speak as a natural person. No, I don't believe in all this and all. But a woman, no, she wouldn't. She wouldn't, because she has a very soft heart, and informations like that, they don't take it lightly. Because regardless of what will happen, that child is still their child. Like, become a 90 years old person. Once your mother is still alive, she wants to act like a mother to you. So that's my take.
Okay. There's a saying that they said that false prophet will mostly
their praise are mostly women.
Yes,
yes,
exactly.
in fact, you have
women.
it.
That's because women are usually much more emotional. The men would reason it logically. There's so many things you tell them, and it's logical. And when it comes to God, God is not logical. I mean, of course,
He's a spirit.
It's a spirit. It's not like you would leave your reasoning at home, but it's not like you have to analyze it like science, step by step.
Yeah, and a lot of things about God we can never understand.
Exactly.
It's a mystery.
So that's the thing. So I think that's it, because women are more emotional than men. They tend to connect with God more easily, faster. So when it comes to worship, when it comes to prayer, when it comes to praise, you see a woman would yield more than a man. They're meant to yield to worship and praises, but a woman would do it more than a man. So it is easy. I believe I said so. It is easier to communicate, to commune with God like that. You can easily relate things. You can easily just speak with God. You just see my father. A man, before a man can say my father, would have paid.
You see that this is my last resort. That means I'm going to.
Like when they say you are broken, he is broken. I mean completely.
Before I can like KBC, Baba help
I mean,
me.
you would have thought of all that solution, but you see a woman, a woman is just going to God straight. So I think that it is just that part that part of us. It just makes us connect to God more. So it is easier to. I think it is easier to say that women are closer.
Okay, we have a special place. There's this thing most men complain about. Say you can never understand a woman. Is it true that we can never be understood? Okay, so question: Do we even understand ourselves?
Exactly.
Priscilla, let's start with that.
I don't even know what to say because there are times some situations we play out. My reaction will be like, what did I do? What happened? Why? We are complex.
We are complex.
We are very complex. I don't know if you've seen this analysis. One time, somebody said he bought a book How to Understand a Man. So just like 10 leaves. Then How to Understand a Woman, like 500 pages, and it's part one. Our gender, God will help us. Yeah, we are very complex, and it takes a man that overlooks a woman, overlooks some excesses.
Yeah.
It takes a man that cares and understands. In fact, just be there to say I'm sorry. Just I'm sorry, okay, I understand. But when you try to take it too hard on them, like why you behaving like a child and all, you've gotten it all wrong.
Wow.
Is a no, that's not a good way to handle a woman. So you are very complex. You have to be caring, you have to be understanding, you have to be calm.
Yes, calm.
Okay. I
Absolutely.
think our multitasking ability causes that too.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think there should be something that's as a man,
Yeah.
you should respect from a female.
Okay.
So when the person maybe try to do that, it shouldn't be new. Just know that it's normal. Female does this, so it's normal. So
Okay.
so and it starts from even in school, in class, you relating with women. You know, there's some women that when you talk to them, you just shout at them, just know that that's another part of them. And you know, there's something we call mood swings.
Yeah.
It happens to ladies, especially when you are on your
menstrual cycle. Oh God.
you should know that. You should know that those periods, you just need to like be very,
Any
very
little
calm.
thing can
Any
trigger
little
you.
thing. And because of the pain, you just like, well, let me just be. And you see the lady shouting. That's not her real self. Or because of what's
Okay, so we don't.
happening.
That's not. We have several selves.
So, yes, let's do that. We have
multi personality.
Yes,
That's the word.
yes.
Wow.
But let me say,
But it's not a disorder. But they're just several faces, several personality in a woman.
The calm busola, the angry busola, the unreasonable
Funny.
busola.
yes, which is dependent
Depends
on
on
our environment.
That
and what's
time,
happening. Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah.
What kind of stress I just went through?
Okay.
Okay, what happened in the morning? How I woke up? Did I sleep well? So
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
now.
serious. So if I slept well,
Yeah.
when you're talking to me, I'm calm. If I did not sleep well and I am late for work and I am dragging bus and you are calling me, are you serious? Oh God, just give me space.
You see the unreasonable. You see the color.
There's irritated busola. I am irritated. I beg. Shift first. But even sometimes, honestly, even me, I don't understand me. That's the thing. That's the truth. I cannot predict what I can do in a situation. In a situation, it can come up like this, and I'm just calm and cool. It can come up like that, and I am up,
Now.
and there is fire everywhere. So I think that for a man to successfully live with a woman, he has to. I mean, patience.
Wow.
I don't know. Even me, I need to be patient with myself sometimes. So you just have to just sit down, just relax. Sometimes, even my siblings, they just give me that space. It's okay. Don't worry. When you're calm, just relax. It's okay.
My
it's
sister
okay.
will be like, but I'm not the one that offended you. I just need somewhere to pour the anger. So you are the available person. Just be here.
It's like, just calm down. Just leave me. Leave me like 30 minutes. When I am better, will relate. But right now, No, I don't even want. Sometimes I don't even want to talk to anybody, and sometimes I want to talk to everybody. Like I'm always looking for topics to talk about, and sometimes I just don't want to talk. Can you just give me space?
Wow.
So I think that to successfully be a woman,
Hmm.
don't understand her. Because you cannot understand, because we don't even understand too.
Mm.
But just be patient, you know.
Okay.
Just be calm,
Okay.
relax, it will come. Don't worry, that face, the
It's
next
yours?
person will come. There will be a shift. There will be a shift in the duty. There's the irritated duty, the happy duty. That one will take over.
Oh, they
Just
go
relax.
back.
Let me say something jokingly. A pastor one time said, like, you can't understand a woman, no? Someone that God gave her. She added her own.
Oh, I remember that video.
Yes.
It went viral.
God gave her nails. She added her own nails. Even shoes. If you see her on heels,
Yes,
another moment there's another slipper
inside the
So,
bag.
so they don't give her
Eyelashes.
lashes. She added her own. So don't even try to understand. But let me just come to the point to say, thank God for Holy Spirit that guides us.
Yeah.
So with the praise of the Holy Spirit, even we are almost going off limits. Holy Spirit, calm down. You can just keep quiet. Just be silent. Thank God for Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is what
Helps
that
to
balances.
regulate,
Yes,
yeah.
balances our move.
Our
Okay,
emotions.
and our emotions, so that we won't hurt someone and we won't do something that hurts. the Holy
Yes,
Spirit
that's where
himself.
maturity again comes
Comes
into
in,
play.
yes.
To be able to
I mean,
control your
you
emotions.
just don't
Emotion.
unreasonably just blow things out of
Out of
proportion.
proportion.
Irrespective of how upset you are, you just you're matured. Just learn to undo those things and just keep quiet.
And even when things are not going well, you keep assuring yourself it's going to be better. Even especially when you need, maybe there's no finances and you needed to do something, run a project, you've called on people and people are not really responding.
And
just like, it's going to be
and
better.
imagine somebody is now calling you that time to say,
Eh.
have you eaten? Are you serious? Have I eaten? Is that what
Or someone demanding something from you, like, can I get 2,000 naira? I have something I'm on.
I guess
You just have to keep assuring yourself and all of that. So
Wow.
I think that's
Awesome.
it.
It's still the International Women's Day celebration, and we're having an awesome time here. You know, talking about women and the well-balanced woman. We've talked about the biases, we've talked about the challenges, we've talked about our childhood dreams and how our background has helped us become who we are today. How we have not been limited by our past, neither are we limited by our present, and then we're moving on into our future. Thank you so much, women. Thank you so much. It's been it's been so awesome talking and, you know, doing all of this with you. We hope to see you some other time. My name is Mimi Licious, and this is Navigating with Noel, International Women's Day edition. Thank you so much for investing your time. We hope you've learned a lot of things. After we've closed, we'll still continue our swagger talking. Women talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.